Hello everyone and welcome to Existential Gamers Live. I am your host, the Existential Gamer himself, and today we're playing Daydreamer, an indie game of a friend named Roland. I love his stuff. I'm excited for his next game. And today I'm joined by another game developer, Mr. Matt. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, I'm Matt. We went to college together.
Yeah! How'd I stop making games?
I don't blame you.
Oh man, I do want to get back into it. It's just I just found something else that I really liked, and just
I mean, that's good.
just
I mean, like, when did you go to college? Was it right after high school?
yeah, like immediately after high school.
Yeah. As I've learned, if I have kids, I'm not having them do that.
Me either. Like figure out what you want to do first, and also don't let people push you, because that was another thing for me too. Is that I didn't know what I like. Pretty much, I didn't know what I was doing with my life until like after I graduated from college, and I like a couple years after that, and like during high school, it was because all I did was doodle and draw, but I wasn't like committed to it. I just kind of, it was like a hobby, and people were like, "Oh, you should do that. You should do that," and it was just like, okay, I guess I don't really know what I want to do.
I guess it's better than accounting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Great. It's awesome. But yeah, you are a game developer. You're working on your own game. I was just wondering if you wanted to talk about that first before we get started on some other topics and everything that I have. But I really wanted you to showcase, not showcase, but like explain, like the process, what you're doing right now, and like what your game's about, where people can like find more information on it. Just to plug that in there, because I really want people to get hyped for your game. Because eventually I want to play your game on my stream, so more people can see it.
Well, it's planned to be out around May of next year.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully that'll become a reality around that time. But as I said, I'm Matt. After I finished, after I graduated and got my what is it, Bachelor of Science in for game art, I just sort of did contract work for a couple of years until I got really fed up with it. Just constantly working way too many hours for not enough with people that didn't know what they wanted or what they were doing.
Oh yeah. Like, even though I didn't like get really heavy into that like industry, just the little bit of time I spent in it, because I did like a couple like freelancing stuff and everything, and I actually worked for a company for a little bit. I hated it. Like, it's just the drama. There's like I mean, you can find that anywhere, but it's just, I felt like especially to the school we came from, like everyone was just kind of like still growing up, and it's just again,
there's a very macho culture around game development. That's
Yeah.
never been for me.
yeah.
Going to college made me realize I did not want to get involved in AAA games. It's like, oh, is it going to be this every day? It's exhausting, let alone working.
Apparently I need to use a controller for this game because they're not giving me keyboard. Let me plug in a controller really quick. But continue talking about
Are
your
you
game.
more comfortable with the keyboard?
It's just more efficient for me to just play the keyboard instead of trying to hook up the controller, because the cable I have for my controller is not very good, and I haven't made time to purchase one. I should do that. I have actually several times put it on my shopping list, and then I just don't buy one. But I just
Yeah.
need a better cable. That's all it is. Really.
Aside from that little bit of drama, this game looks great. This is such a cool direction for the aesthetics.
Yeah, I love the art style. That's actually what attracted me to this. When I first saw it, I think it was at E3, as where I met the guy. He was showcasing his game. Was it E3? I think it was actually. What is that other conference?
There's GDC.
GDC.
PAX.
That's what it was.
Yeah, GDC.
You know what? I don't even have the cable for the controller. Wow. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to just guess stuff. Experiment. But yeah, I saw his like art style and everything, and I was like, dude, this looks so cool. I like that kind of like they call it like clay punk style, because they describe games like I don't know if you've ever seen Hylix, if you've seen Dujana, we just played yesterday. It kind of has that similar style.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
This sort of defiant art style. It looks so good.
I gotta figure out what Y is on this thing.
Is it like?
Oh shit.
Are you using the space bar to jump, or are you using? Oh.
Yeah, spacebar. So shift is Y.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then fire. What is fire? Let's see. Control? I'm guessing. Yeah, control. Ugh, oh my god, everything is all shoved onto the left side of the keyboard. This is gonna be very disorienting.
Control and shift. That's interesting.
Oh, okay. Wait, never mind. I forgot the movement is on the right side. So it's the arrow keys, and then I can use a space bar, and then shift. I'm guessing is the weapon choices. You can switch between weapons, and the controls to shoot. Okay. 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 I got it.
All right, this is an odd control scheme, but we can roll with it.
Yeah. I've been. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I wonder if they'll control with the mouse. Now I think about it, because that's a really weird 2-button setup right there. Will those clicks not do anything?
I'm trying. Oh, I'm trying to figure out what a warp is.
Fuck.
Oh, okay. It's the W key. Interesting.
W.
Alright.
Huh.
W for warp.
Well, it looks like there's 2 warp buttons, a right warp and a left warp. Kind of like, what, dashing in Rogue Legacy?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. What's the other one? That's inventory. Oh god. How do we get out of this? Tap? Escape? I don't know. Can't press it again. I don't know what button is to get out of this. Okay, so A is, of course, space. We're trying to figure out this game, y'all. Apologize.
It doesn't appear that there's a super keyboard-friendly beginning map. Well, that's a good opportunity, isn't it, to talk about other things. So, anyways, I mentioned I did contract work for a while. And there's a certain point when I finished a contract, and the guy was like, yeah, sorry, I don't actually have the money right now. And I was like, okay, well... Well, thanks for that, man.
That is so terrible.
Yeah, and so at that point, I started working on Vernal Edge on the side.
And that's the name of your game, right?
Yeah. I decided, screw this, I'm gonna figure out the programming, I'll just do it. Oh, I'm gonna make this super cool because all these contracts never let me, like, experiment or try new things or do anything really interesting. So I'm gonna, and then, earlier that year, Devil May Cry 5 got its big announcement trailer. And I was seeing a big upsurge of people who were like, yeah, we love Devil May Cry. We love these, like, super fast and complex action games. I was like, oh, okay, I guess there's a market for this. I thought it was more niche than that, so that's where I started pushing the direction for it. And I worked on that on and off, kind of part-time, until, what, around 2019? And about midway through there,
so wait, what year
one
did
of
you
our
start?
core programmers joined.
What year did you start working on Vernal Edge?
Around August of 2018.
Oh, okay.
And then around June of 2019, it sort of became full-time development. That's when another person jumped on. We started really pushing, and we worked on the game, just iterating back and forth, changing the mechanics, testing with a small group of people, until we got it kickstarted around May 2020.
Huh. And it's very similar to, like, Devil May Cry, but in 2D, right?
Yeah. I think we have one of the better attempts at trying to capture all that combat in 2D. Because, like, most of the most complex 2D combat you see is, like, in fighting games. Where you see, you know, all the highs, lows, parries, blocks, meter management. And, of course, you're up against a real-life opponent. So, we kind of wanted to step away from that sort of Castlevania and Mega Man combat where your, like, methods of interacting are pretty narrow. And we wanted to just increase the range of stuff you could do, and we just sort of ended up with this weird hybrid Metroidvania action game where you have a whole bunch of moves and you juggle and all this.
Yeah, and I
Turns
saw
out
that. It
that's
looked really
exhausting.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh. It's exhausting? How come it's exhausting? Just all the work you have to put in?
Gosh. You know, every enemy requires 10 animations before they're even like allowed, where we start animating their attacks and stuff. They gotta walk, they gotta jump, you gotta juggle them in a bunch of different directions.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
How
and
many?
the environments.
How many? I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but how many enemies do you plan to have?
Somewhere around 14 unique enemy animations or unique enemy characters. We have a couple palette swaps with different movesets, though that's nebulous. These lasers.
I'm trying to figure. It's just the shield is A or B. I think I messed up the controls. I'll figure this out. See, it says warp left is Q, warp right is E, and I put it to those, but now it's not letting me do that. Jump space, melee is A. I like how she's moving around while I'm doing this.
Yeah, oh gosh. Right bumper is
W is shield. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I switched to okay, so I can shield and warp at the same time then, I'm guessing. It's not letting me.
It looks like you can't walk and shield at the same time, right?
Oh, okay. If I jump in the air and do the shield, it stays on me.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, that's an interesting requirement to have beforehand.
Yeah. Oh,
Block
I
attack.
gotta shoot. I don't have any more ammo. How do I get more?
It looks like it wants you to try and parry that.
Oh, I get ammo from parrying. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you like absorb the energy.
Yeah. Freaking Star Fox over here. Let's go. Oh no, what is it? Ness? Ness. Ness is the one that...
Yeah, Ness. Star Fox. Kind of?
A Star Fox reflects it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Figuring this out. I remember the first time I actually tried this game, I had no idea what I was doing, and I gave up really quickly because I was dumb.
that first impression.
Yeah. And this is his first game, and it's one guy who worked on it by himself, so I mean, I always say, like, I don't care how, like, difficult the game is or anything like that. If it's your first game and it still came out pretty decently, like, I'm like, kudos. Good on you for getting something out, you know?
This is far above the Call of Duty for someone's first game.
Okay. Okay, you can do a thing. Yeah, I've been watching his stuff. He has a YouTube channel as well, and I wasn't actually gonna say if you wanted to plug in your YouTube channel, but I think you have one, right? You're sharing from your stuff.
We mostly market on Twitter now.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of this weird. It's sort of this. God, I don't care for the platform, but it's so easy to grow on it. Especially if you make animated things that eat up GIFs. I've
been meaning to use Twitter for my thing too, but it's a pain in the butt. Actually, no, I forgot something. Give me a quick second. We'll continue. I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about your game before we move on.
I mean, bar showing it. It's, you know, it's an action game. It's an action game, so there's not really much more to talk about. It's like, do you like blocking and dashing and knocking enemies into each other?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what? It's got a floating island setting, so you get in a big, cool, rotating Mode 7 map and fly around.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you played the game Owlboy.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, or like what's that other one with the God, it's such a famous game, and I'm forgetting the name. I wanted to say Dig Dug, but that's another game. Cave Story. What the heck, Jesus.
Cave Story is the reason I make games.
Well, there you go. I totally can see the inspiration.
You know, one guy made Cave Story all by himself from scratch.
Crazy.
That's the indie inspiration story of all time.
God. How do you feel about that though? Like with like, do you ever plan to do that? Like try to make a game just on your own?
Oh, never. At this point, I want to do my part of the game as well as I can.
True.
It's like, you know, I want to animate. I want to do the environment. Like I can do the coding now, but I can't do the advanced stuff, the stuff that really matters.
Oop. Get summoned. I got a turtle that heals me. Alright. What is this? It? Oop. All my bullets are missing. Okay.
You gotta get in close range to get these shots.
I think just make a cat noise.
Dude, chain bonus?
Oh. Just gonna keep using my melee weapon. Huh.
Hold down fire.
Oh, can I charge it? Oh, because I got a ray gun. It's probably gonna do like a giant shot. Some like this reminds me of God, what am I trying to say here? Contra. Oh,
Yeah.
I can crouch and shoot too. Okay.
Oh, good.
Can I shoot down too? Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
that's a fun pose for that.
Dude, I've been, like I said, I've been checking out his YouTube channel. He's working on the part 2 of this game, and it's gonna be a what would you call that that style? Like, you know how like Risk of Rain 1 and then Risk of Rain 2?
Oh, just that sort of 2D to 3D transition.
Yeah.
Gonna happen.
Oh. Can I animation?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very Nintendo kind of thing we associate it with now, huh?
Is it? I don't know. I just thought of Risk of Rain because like how they transitioned from from the 2D to. But I didn't really think about Nintendo like that being a Nintendo thing.
I always think about like, oh, you know, they had to transfer Zelda and Metroid and Mario, all that to 3D in like one generation. Admittedly, Risk of Rain is one of those games that was so much better in 3D.
Oh yeah, that like I still enjoy the. I don't like that animation though. You see that? How you have to like if you don't finish, it doesn't do it on its own. Like if you, it's just weird.
Is it like a weird? It's like a weird transitional animation.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, so you're climbing and then you get up, but you don't finish the animation. You can.
Oh, I see. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Does that mean if you spam up and down, you can cycle through the bits of the animation?
Yeah.
Well, when you press down, it looks like you if you just tap down once, do you automatically go down to the ladder? Okay, no, it's like frame advance.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? What do you think? Should it just be automatic?
I bet.
Oh, I gotta go down
I
there.
bet the culprit is that there's no iframes.
Ah.
And because usually when you have get up animations like that, you either make them deliberately punishable or you make them invincible. And then this is some sort of weird middle ground.
I don't even know where I'm supposed to go. So shoot this. Oh, I can destroy this. Use this. Time boost. I think I used that earlier, but I didn't know I did it.
For short duration of time, access your inventory and use it when needed. Oh, you got like a consumable.
Oh, up here. No. See, I did have to destroy that up there, I guess. Alright. I've never been a fan of the mechanical dystopian, like, art style. Like, 'cause I feel like a lot of games use it. I know later on this game has some pretty cool environments. The creature design, though.
Yeah. It's definitely a big bang for your buck art style. Like, you just make a whole bunch of scrap and some areas to collide with, and you can kit bash them all together.
True.
I know Rain World kind of has a similar aesthetic,
That's a
although
game I
it's
gotta
more
play.
like you're in a big machine. You'll appreciate Rain World. Ooh.
Okay, there we go. So up shift. Oop. Oh, I'm pressing all the buttons. Okay. But you were saying I'd appreciate Rain World?
You appreciate Rain World, but it is a frustrating game to get involved in.
Yeah, I heard it was a pretty hard game.
It's an uncaring game. It's more of a simulation.
What do you mean by that?
That sort of game has some thematic tie-ins to like the cruelty of nature.
Oh.
And as a result, Rain World isn't always fair because the world isn't always fair. Rain World's basically a one really big simulation with an end credit screen.
I like how these guys have little wheelchairs.
They're so good.
Oh, I like this little character. Dude, this guy has really, I must admit though, this guy has really nice like art style and animations. Like I've been watching his stuff, like he's been posting on his YouTube channel, and like the dude just thinks of some crazy stuff. Like he was actually working on an RPG, but then he said he abandoned it because he doesn't like where it was going. And like I was just like, oh, wrong button. Oh, up button. I was just like, dude, like I want to see more stuff from you. Like you have some amazing stuff. There's kind of a nostalgia to it because I really liked back when I was a kid on PS1. I used to play Skull Monkeys and Neverhood on the PC, and like just that claymation, like that, you know, like I was saying, that clay punk style is just like really one of my favorites.
It's really cool. I'm just looking at it now. There's such a unique look to this, and it works. It's not just like different for different sake. It really works.
The thing is unfortunate. I know. Oh, I died. There's the platforming. I told you guys this is platforming month, so there has to be some sort of platforming in the game that I'm playing. It can't just be mainly a shooter. Is your game considered a platformer, or is it more just like just
yeah, I'd say
hack and
so.
slash?
We have I mean, we have spike pits you can fall in. There's a lot. It's more of a puzzling platformer in some ways.
Okay.
Because most of the platforming mechanics are different ways we use the terrain. I'm a big fan of games like Mirror's Edge, so I always like mechanics for platforming that don't depend on like specific little interactive objects. Like if you see a slope, you can ground pound into it and start sliding.
Ooh. So you just like oh jeez, the effect got stuck, I think.
Ugh.
Your first game, you're gonna have a lot of bugs, I'm sure. Let's see, how do I? Okay, speed it up. Oh, I just doubled it. No.
Oh.
Let me see if I can save it and then reload it, because the effect got stuck. Let's see.
Hard load unlocked. Well, the shop's right ahead. Maybe loading the map will fix it.
Let's try that.
Luckily, you got these nice little green lines to tell you where enemies are.
Oh, I gotta remember I can warp. Oops, nope.
No. Oh gosh.
Let's try to get to a checkpoint.
Normally, effects like that don't persist. Maybe the shop's just in the same map.
There we go. Wait, maybe.
Well,
Maybe
a different screen effect happened.
Nope. Okay. Have you guys been having a lot of bugs in your games that you have to? Like,
nonstop, all the time.
You'd say that was just like a big part of the game development process.
Yeah, you gotta tackle them one at a time, and usually you tackle them like all at once, unless it's something that's making development difficult. Because, you know, levels ain't gonna make themselves.
That's true. True. What is considered because not everything is technically a bug, right? If just because it doesn't work doesn't mean it's a bug. Like what?
Right.
What are the other words they have for that kind of stuff?
Non-shippable. No. I mean, there are just awkward and unintentional behaviors. You got someone above you. A lot of times, there's also just a lack of quality. Like, you'll run into situations where something works completely fine, it doesn't even look buggy, but it consistently produces bad gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually when we try to address it with, like, I guess player convenience features. I don't think there's a term for it. But stuff like Coyote Time is a big way of addressing that.
Coyote Time? What is Coyote
Yeah.
Time?
Coyote Time is a mechanic where if you're playing a platformer like this, or even a 3D platformer...
Oh, it's when you're floating in the air, right?
Yeah, it's when you walk off a ledge and you're given a couple frames to still hit the jump button.
Ah, yes. I think Crash Bandicoot has that.
Yeah, there's jump buffering where if you hit the jump button just a couple frames before you hit the ground, it'll buffer the input and do it automatically when you hit the ground. We gotta make fixes like that all the time just to make the game feel better.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
I know Celeste is a big example of those kinds of features.
I mean, it kind of needs it. It's so crazy fast and everything, right?
Yeah, if you were expected to also manage, like, sub-pixel locations on ledges, it would be a nightmare.
It kind of reminds me of kind of how, like, sometimes things need to have that, like, pixel lockdown, like, for some certain games, like, I don't know what they would call that. I guess just, like, having a pixel grid also helps. Like, with games... Oh, good.
I think running at their true resolution, in a sense.
Well, like a game like Oddworld, when they remade it, and I noted, I pointed this out on my review of it, was that like playing the original and then playing the remake, you notice that they took away this kind of like grid, like this game doesn't have it. Like you can do this, and there's like different parts of the thing you can go through. While on Oddworld, like you press the movement button once, you'll like move all the way over here. You know what I mean? It like doesn't matter how hard you press it. You'll move that one like couple pixels over, like 10 pixels over or whatever. And like it made puzzles harder on the remake because they took that away. They made it smoother so that you can like stop in the middle of each thing, and so it was hard to line yourself up to like.
It becomes so much more ambiguous. Like,
yeah.
Where am I going?
Back, you cripple, back.
Oh.
Sorry.
He's had a hard life.
Well, he came up to me, okay? Didn't look like he wanted a hug.
It's true. You know, it's not always your problem.
Wait, there's a hotel?
Is that like a checkpoint, or is that just? We didn't go here last time. Yeah. We couldn't see here last time.
Yeah. It is dangerous ahead. Take this. Oh, I'm guessing that's a life.
I think he refilled some of your health.
Oh. Was it a little, like, angel thing with the gas mask? I noticed we got one in the very beginning. I'm guessing they're lives. I should summon my little turtle dude and
heal. Oh, yeah.
I'll start doing that more. I want to actually make it past the first level today. So how long do you plan your game to like kind of take to finish, like for the player?
I think around 10 to 14 hours.
Okay.
You know, we're making a Metroidvania, so you kind of expect there to be a long enough time to get all the power-ups, feel good about having them, and then when you get bored, get another. And then you want to have that long post-game where you have all the power-ups and you're doing all the ridiculously hard side challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And as an action game, a part of that includes just having ridiculous bosses.
Yeah. How do you feel about super bosses and like in RPGs and stuff like that? You know, like Kingdom Hearts had it, or Final Fantasy is the one's like the first one to do it, right?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 has some of my favorite super bosses, especially because they all have these weird, insane mechanics.
Yeah.
And desperation attacks and all that. No, the super bosses are definitely something that are on our agenda.
I love that. I love super bosses. Like when games have it. Oh, I can kick.
Oh, is that melee in the air?
Yeah. Oh, just look at this dude. He's dead. Oh, was he a boss? A mini boss? I don't know.
Maybe just like a big enemy. You'll know if you start seeing 3 of them at the same time.
True. Yeah, but you know, like Dark Souls, they had bosses and then they became normal enemies.
Yeah. I think we have one instance of that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh no, the blur. The blur. I don't know why the blur effect keeps getting stuck. Oh, you know what? I can turn that off. I think that's why I had it off. I remember that.
Oh god, is it a setting?
Yeah.
Video setup?
Blur effects default. Off. Let's see. Yep, there we go.
Oh, beautiful. Can appreciate everything now. There's just
I mean,
so
there's still
much
blur when you
texture
do
work.
that, so it's good. He you know, he's one of those guys that just puts in a lot of work, but sometimes it can be a little too much sometimes.
Oh.
You're gonna have to get past me first, Scallion. That's an interesting default name, Scallion.
That is kind of weird.
This is actually the boss he was been demoing in his second game.
This is... Wow, this is so three-dimensional.
For some reason my oh, I don't have enough for shields.
Oh, you have a shield resource. I didn't even realize.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has to be full
Sorta like
to do the floating one. I think.
It's like a sort of shield stamina bar, it looks like. Well, okay, it comes back extremely slowly. I guess they want you to sort of balance out mitigating damage and giving yourself ammo. I love that kind of resource management in combat.
I like his, yeah, like, I really like what he's going for here. Like, he has a lot of cool mechanics. Oh, shoot.
She finished him off like a pro.
Freaking unibeamed him right there. Alright, first level down. Hey, what's up, D1? I do not remember this map screen before. I think they added this. Because I got this game when it first came out, and then he did an Awakened edition where he added more stuff. They didn't have a world map screen before. You just kind of went to the next level.
This is such a rad map screen.
Yeah. Dude, like... Roland, if you're here, I just want you to know that I believe in you. You make some amazing stuff. And because like people were giving shit for like this game, like because it's just stupid. I was seeing some of the comments, it was pretty dumb. Like they didn't like the design of the character and things like that, and I was just like, this is some good shit though. Like why are you like, you know, like people tend to focus on the little things. Like, okay,
yeah,
so I want to talk about this because this is what my channel's about, right? Existential Gamers. We talk about life stuff, and this is also important too, like the psychology behind making games as well. You know, that's important too, your mental health and all that. Because it is a struggle, just like any other career that you're going through. You have to have that mental strength to push yourself to keep going. So, like, I just want to talk, you know, like, Roland, if you ever see this, keep doing it, dude. Like, you have so much, like, potential and talent, like, and you put in so much good work. Like, when you post little things, you're just like, oh, I was just bored. Here's, like, something to show. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, how do you just do that when you're bored? Like, it's amazing. Like, more power to you, dude. Like, for sure. Like the same thing to you, Matt. Like the stuff I see you do. Like I remember you used to do all that pixel work. I was like, dude, I'm so jealous. Like I wish I could do pixel work like that. Like it's so awesome. Like
you know what? College had me so jaded. I didn't believe anyone when they told me that. I thought they were just being nice. That was so bad.
That's something I think a lot of us in college. Like I think it was either or. Either somebody had a really big head, or they just completely shat on themselves. Like, they just like, I don't really believe in myself at all.
You know what? The atmosphere definitely facilitated that.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely you're either one of the favorites or you're not.
My controls got messed up again. Cause my melee's not working now.
And I don't want to bitch and complain. I just want to point out, like, hey. Make sure you treat people well. make sure you have respect for yourself and the people around you, even if you don't love their work the same way you love other people's.
And D1, I'm glad you're here now. So he's one of my good friends, one of my good buddies. He actually wants to get into game design. He's still in high school right now, and he's looking forward to doing that after high school and stuff. And I just want to know if you want to give him any like tips or anything, any things you learned that you think he should start doing like now, before he gets started on that.
There's a lot of technical skills you need to learn. Obviously, I gotta program, or I gotta make art, or if I don't want to do everything, I gotta learn to work with other people. And I think one really important skill to work on that is kind of invisible is learning how to finish games.
Yeah.
Because you get so caught up in the technicalities of I'm gonna need all these assets, I'm gonna need to program all this stuff, that you get blindsided by the exhaustion or by the sort of feeling of dread that you'll get when a project is nearing the end and you're not sure how you feel about it anymore. And a lot of people will say, oh, start small, and it's true, but the intent behind it is that you should start with something you only care enough about that you won't fixate on it forever.
Sure.
And that you be comfortable getting out the door if it's not perfect.
Oh, there's a shield.
Oh, they can block now.
This is giving me Earthbound vibes.
Yeah, the Starman over here.
Yeah.
And this housing area.
That is very interesting. I think this is like
that's
supposed to be a representation of like where you live. Because at the very beginning of the game, they showed like your neighborhood and stuff. Like, very similar to this.
Oh yeah, huh? I guess that's the best advice I can give. I guess the other piece of advice is pick something and learn how to be good at it.
Yeah.
Chances are, if you're not working all by yourself, work with other people and just have something to provide. Because if you want to design, you have to know some programming. Even if you're not going to be the one programming, you have to know how things are made. You have to understand data and all that.
Yeah. Do you have any resources you think that he should check out as well?
If there's no pressure in your life to like, oh, I gotta make a video game and start selling it, try modding.
That's true.
Because modding communities have that solved. Modding communities have their game solved. They provide tools. They let you mess around and finish things. With some games, you can insert your own assets or snippets of code, so it's a great place to expand your horizons in a low-pressure environment.
Yeah.
Like I made mods for Cave Story when I was in high school. Same as one of the other programmers on the project. Alex, who was the person who joined the project in 2019, made Doom maps.
Dude, okay, so that's perfect that you mentioned that, because I was about to talk about that. If I was to get like back into game design again, I think that's like my favorite thing to do is level design. I love level design.
Yeah. I just wrote a big level design doc like before doing this for the rest of the team.
Oh, really?
On how to manage camera regions.
Oh, what's that? So all the hotels have the same art style. Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the backgrounds are maybe a little different.
Oh, it looks the same to me.
I'll have to see another one, and then I'll keep all this information in mind.
Well, yeah, I make a lot of Doom maps. Oh, I used to. I haven't done it in a while. Let's just ignore them.
Yeah.
But I love making Doom maps. I used to make maps in Warcraft 3. There was a pro. How do I get it? Oh, I have to destroy the UFOs to get out of here. Okay. Just realized an objective on the top right.
For it, yeah.
But yeah, there was a program they had for free online when I was in middle school. They had like a game maker program. I used to love making games on there too. And like my favorite part was always just the level design. Like, what do I want the player to get, go through and stuff like that. And like, what do I want them to feel? Like, especially in the so it wasn't even just level design, but like environment design. Like, how do I want the player to feel during this level? What the heck is not working? Oh, there we go. Just things like that. I just love that whole guiding the player, like where do I want them to go and stuff like that. I love that. I mean, honestly, I love the whole game design thing in general. But
You got one more UFO.
oh, right, you're right. It's pointing me to it.
I definitely can't put enough emphasis on like have a skill, have a relevant skill that isn't just design, because it will make working on projects so much easier. I think I've always said if you know how to program, and you know how to draw, and you know how to animate, you are the most powerful solo developer in existence.
That's how you make things like Stardew Valley.
Yeah. It's pretty much because animation is a big part of game feel. Because you know how a character moves and stops and whatnot. It contributes just as much to how a game plays as what actually happens when you hit buttons. Knowing how to draw establishes mood and tone.
Oh, why is everything slow?
Which gives the game appeal, and programming makes it all come together and be real. Obviously, you don't have to get invested in all that, like it's a training regimen.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's also mastering those boring fundamentals, but of game design. You know, like I think when it comes to any skill or trade, you know, there's always gonna be the fun stuff, but then there's a lot of boring stuff that you just have to get through, and just understand that it is part of the job in a sense. But
yeah,
when you have that passion for whatever you're doing, like you really enjoy the thing that you want to do, like you enjoy the goal, like the result, like hey, I want to have a game, I want to release that game, then that boring stuff is not going to be as boring. It's just going to be a little bit of a blockade that it's an obstacle that you're going to want to overcome. Like that's what it becomes. It doesn't turn into a slog. It just turns into an obstacle that you're just like, you know what, I can do this. It's fine.
Yeah.
You become more willing.
And a lot of me starting to program Vernal Edge was also just frustration that I couldn't get people to do things for me. I can do all this, I guess I gotta do this too. And now they've come back to work. Now people are working on it because the framework's there.
So, how big is your team right now, if you don't mind me asking?
There are 3 people working on it, like, for main development, including me. And there's a couple, like, contractors who have just taken some of the Kickstarter money to hire to do things we don't have time to do.
Yeah.
Or the time to do.
That's what I do for my stream. Wish I had somebody I could make thumbnails, but, you know, I don't have anybody for that. I have to do that myself.
I mean, I had to work on this for a year and a half before I, like, got the funding to be able to make those kinds of decisions.
So you don't have, like, you don't work like any 9 to 5 or anything, right? It's just you're mainly focused on this now?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I did contracting and commissions on the side until the Kickstarter. But now that we have that, I can just sort of hardline focus this.
This is very interesting.
Oh, it's the shopkeeper.
What is my money? The Psi matter? Is that what it is? Everything's so expensive and I only have 91.
Huh.
Yeah, I only have that much.
You can sell things.
Okay.
But you only have 3 items.
Hey. But D1, you said getting help is a problem because you don't ask. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just something you have to overcome. You know, you have to overcome. Like if for you, if it's a bad habit or something you're afraid of, that's all in your, you know, inside your own head. You have to overcome that. If you really need to get help, you gotta ask, dude. Just, but I mean, at least you're aware of it. You know, as they always say, this first step. Just don't accept it though. That's the only issue. Some people, you know, they always say that, like, oh, at least I'm aware of it. At least I'm aware of it. But don't be aware of it and then accept it. Be like, oh, well, that's just who I am. It's like, no. You need to be better than that. You need to sell pets. This lady's scaring me. Or dude, I don't know. Oh god, wait. No, they're all expensive. I had enough.
They're a
before.
lot cheaper than the items were.
Yeah, that's true.
Chicken, come back.
I sell pets. What's this over here? This is my room. Take a nap. Hell yeah. Oh, wrong button.
I usually sleep with my head at the foot of bed as well.
Just sleep the other way around.
So I can catch them by surprise if they ever try to get me in the night. Who? You never know.
Whoever it is. But D1, now is your chance to ask anything as well. You know, if you have any questions, you have any things that that you've been meaning to ask, and you have your chance, dude. Matt will do his best. EMP. Oh! Okay, how does this work? Oh, you lock on. Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, that did more than I thought.
gotta open with that.
Yeah.
The teleport always feels like how to put it, like a wipe transition in a TV show.
Yeah. I feel you could really break the game with this thing.
Maybe, I guess it depends on how good their collision detection is before you commit to it.
Uh-oh. I think we're at the end of the level now. I'm a rabbit. Deal with it. Okay, got it.
Oh my gosh, it's animations. Oh, it's healthy.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to do too much. It just has a lot of health. Alright, yeah, different weapon. I gotta really block that. There we go. I can get ammo from that too.
Easter egg.
Oh! Oh, yeah. What is that? Did I destroy it? I'm afraid. Okay.
Looks like it's gonna launch a bomb at some point.
Okay, so the only bad thing about using the other shield is that you don't get the ammo generation.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
It's definitely like a little parry. It's interesting that you have the longer term, less gains defensive option.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't do too much damage too. I mean, I'm playing on medium. There was a really... What's up?
Yeah, when you're making an action game, having a diversity of defensive options is so good.
Ooh. Again, I should have moved. I should have opened with that. Oh hell yeah! I should just keep. Wait, give me all my ammo back. Wait, I'm gonna just feed off this dude. Go ahead. I'm about to die anyways.
You are no longer a boss. You're now a bank. Oh.
Oh well, we tried. Ah! I forgot. I can't jump and do that. I have to do that on the ground. All right, come on, laser. Laser, do it. Come on! I want ammo.
He knows it's the end.
Come on, you bastard. There we go. Alright. Let's just beat him with it. Give him one of them 1-2s. Ooh, the animation though.
Oh, that was a cool little break.
I got a B. Just like high school.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not even anything to be upset about.
Okay. So we started. We beat Mr. Smiles. We beat Rabies Rabbit. We beat Mr. Grin. And Doomflare. Who should we fight?
Well, okay, let's see.
I'll let you pick.
I can guess what Doomflare's Doomflare's
Yeah, I'm
reminding me of something. No, let's go take on Mr. Grin.
Mr. Grin?
Mr. Grin.
Alright.
Because I want to see him, like, rotate as he wobbles around.
Oh, you
I
can...
know that's what it's gonna look like.
You can just fight... You can just go straight to the boss as well.
Oh,
if,
really?
If after you beat the stage, like, you can just... I love games that let you do that. Bosses are one of my favorite things to fight, so, like... Games that allow... Yeah, I like in Kingdom Hearts, I used to just save right before all the bosses. And then just reload them whenever I felt like fighting a certain boss.
And Hollow Knight made a whole DLC for it.
Oh, yeah.
It was very good on them.
Shadow Colossus had that too. That was one of the first games that I noticed that had that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is in our Discord, someone would tease me before we ran the Kickstarter. They would say, "Hey, what if Silk Song dropped during your Kickstarter?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Don't you dare mess with me."
Actually, I was gonna say that you said it's gonna be releasing around May, right?
Yeah. So,
Is there any?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is there any way I can play it at the end of April, just so that I can play it for Action April, because I feel like it fit that theme.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
I mean, I could play it for May, because it's kind of an adventure game too, right? What you said?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big adventure. It's got a plot. You know, it's got a plot. It's got story development. The bosses are in fact related to that plot, not just like Dark Souls where they're related to background story.
Okay, then I think it should work then. I'll just plan ahead and make sure it's in May. Then we'll play at the beginning of May. It'd be a nice transition between Action April and May.
That's true. It's because it's very much a hybrid. If I platforming challenges, puzzles, and combat are definitely the pillars of it.
This level is platforming, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it's worth trying to deal with all these guys.
No, I'm not gonna bother with them.
Unless the amount of money they dropped suddenly increased.
D1 said, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grin." Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh, now the enemies are starting
The hitbox on the platform, the collision knocked me back down, so kind of bothered me.
I can't think of a better gun except for the homing gun, but that's pretty expensive.
Oh! Oh!
What's your air melee like?
It kind of gives you a boost, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
use
although
it
it's
to,
kind
like...
of
Oh shit!
Oh, I was gonna say it might be scary to use it to hit all the enemies in this level. Now this is sort of settling.
Oh! Okay, that is an insecurity, thank god.
Now this is settling into a bit of a pattern. It's really reminding me of like the Mega Man X and Zero.
Definitely, that's what I was thinking too. Actually, even with the items, the pickups and stuff like that, like kind of remind me of and the UI and stuff like with the little.
Yeah, how it's made a bunch of little pits.
Yeah.
And you fired like different projectiles with different shot behaviors and different melee, like a laser melee attack set.
Okay, I think this part I have to drop.
These like floating platforms with crystals are also reminding me of Rayman.
Ooh, the freaking collision on that is way too far away from the actual. You know, sometimes we get a little lazy, I guess. Just don't have enough time.
These look like couch pillows that you're platforming on.
I can see that. Oh! I need to heal. Oh, I didn't press... I'm dumb.
Oh.
I think I was all delayed. I'll have a life, thank god. Oh, you just have to start at the very beginning, though. That's lame. Oh no! Oh my god, this is... There we go. Focusing. For some reason, when I summon my pet, it also warps me, and that's not good. Oh my god. For some reason, that's... Yeah, I know, I need to use my shield. I keep forgetting. Oh my... Can you use the shield then? That would have been saving me a lot of damage.
I wonder if there's a secret up there. Probably not worth investigating.
Not right now. Oh. Oh, okay.
Huh.
Well, that was... It's pretty tough.
Yeah, when we do ledge get up animations, we make you invincible because you're like in between coordinates, and it's so weird. Because the way it works is, what, you just play an animation that has the character moving towards the top of the ledge. Oh. And then you just teleport onto the top of the ledge after.
I might as well restart. I guess I can't. Yeah.
Do you have lives?
I think so. Set checkpoint. Oop. Just ignoring the enemies at this point now.
I'm guessing you're not keeping money that you gain if you happen to die during a run.
I'm not too sure about that system. They didn't really explain money or anything. Just kind of threw me into the game. How do you feel about tutorials? What do you think? What games do you think had really good tutorials?
Okay, let's think.
Because I know Mega Man X has always been credited to have a really good tutorial without even like saying anything.
Let me think. It's a mixed bag because there's so many valid ways to go about it. Mega Man X is definitely solid for telling you like complicated stuff without text.
I just realized I didn't have any more dashes. Oh, that freaking fire lingers.
I've always kind of appreciated the opening to Halo, how they sort of, because at the time, controller first-person shooters were still a bit more of an anomaly. So I like that they contextualize you like learning how to do all this stuff with the camera as a guy testing out your suit and making sure everything's working.
That immersive tutorial.
I say so because we've been streaming Halo this past couple weeks.
Oh, you guys have been playing Halo?
Yeah, every Saturday we do a game development announcement for like 40 to 50 minutes. Just like an update on everything that's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
And then we usually play a game for around 2.5 hours, and that's the stream.
So you guys are playing Halo 1 right now?
Yeah, remastered specifically, since that's on Steam now.
Yeah, we just played that recently too in April. That was the last game we did in April.
It's a blast.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed playing that.
It's so fun to play a first-person shooter where the enemies have specific behaviors.
Yes.
But on tutorials, it's hard to say because really good tutorials are invisible.
True. Ooh. Oh, I made it.
I always enjoyed Super Metroid opening up with as soon as you land on the planet, sort of telegraphing the entire nature of the game by making you go left instead of right. Since in platformers, typically right is progression.
Yeah.
So telling you that this is an exploring person's game by having you go left is such a small, subtle thing.
Nice try, buddy. I'm not gonna risk it getting these weapons. Oh my god, okay. Scared me.
I know, I actually think, I love Doom Eternal, I think that game has some bad tutorials.
Oh yeah, that was one thing I really had an issue with. Oh my god,
just the big paragraph pop-ups. All well intended, but...
Oh, you use your money to power the pet.
Oh! That explains why you didn't have a bunch of money.
Yeah, I use it all up.
But yeah, that game, especially because... I remember there was a big controversy about Marauders when that came out.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with Marauders. It's like, oh, because the tutorial for them's bad.
I was indifferent about, I mean, not indifferent. I was a little conflicted about the Marauders because I think they're a fun little enemy design, but I think they just didn't fit in Doom.
Well, you know, I finally, after messing around for a while, I was like, there's actually ways to play the game so that way they're not very disruptive.
Mm.
But the game teaches you like the most backwards way to fight them in the tutorial.
What? So what? How would you? What's the better, more optimized way?
If you back out of their range, they will walk into melee range and melee attack you.
Ah.
Oh, this guy. Which means that they're an enemy, you can keep your distance. They just sort of encourage you to kite them around while fighting everything else.
Oh,
oh, it's gonna be a lot of them, isn't it?
oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh.
Oh, these are
Game
multiplayer.
critics ironically don't understand how it works. Yeah. I feel so bad for game critics because they have to exist in such like a capital dependent world for reviews when reviews are better off suited as like one-time things that take a lot of research. But everyone wants to know if Final Fantasy VII Remake is worth playing the day it comes out, rather than like the 2 weeks it would take to understand it.
Do it! Feed me, Maurice! Feed me!
And there's also no one in management who understands their strengths and weaknesses, and so they have them reviewing stuff that they don't understand.
Oh, my frames. Oh, my stars and garters. Yeah.
And some of them are just hacks.
Oh, we're gonna go over there. Thank you. Get out of here.
Like, one thing I always hated was that Cuphead thing. Because once I actually learned what happened behind that, it made me so angry. Which was all that footage wasn't him reviewing the game. It was like, they sent the guy who doesn't play platformers to like GDC or something. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll play it. And he's like, yeah, I don't play platformers. And they were like, wouldn't it be funny if we uploaded him being bad? And then it became a meme.
Oh my god.
Of just like, look at these people don't know what they're doing.
Oh! Okay.
Fucking threading a needle.
Yep.
Okay, we got the aesthetics of like the first level again here.
Yeah.
But with a little bit more technical with these like conveyor belts.
It's kind of like in the game Vanquish we played. It was the first game we played in Action April. I liked Vanquish. It was a fun game, but like the environments definitely got tiring. I think environment is definitely one of those things that I like variety in the game. I don't like when I'm just going through the same environment over and over again.
Vanquish's environment variety isn't great.
They had one part where you go through a park, and I was just like, finally, some good food, and then it was just like one level.
I would love if they made a sequel to that game that was refined.
They said they were, but I guess they stopped.
Oh, I mean, what was? Maybe it turned into something else. I know that studio had some problems for a while with projects getting canceled.
Oh really?
Like, what was that game that Microsoft was publishing for them to make? It was some game about like a young man and his dragon, and it was like a new fantasy IP. It was very AAA, very big, shiny. And then the next year, it was a 4-person multiplayer game, and then the next year it was canceled.
That's what always happens.
And they were no longer working together.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, it sort of pushes you out of this collision.
Use the spread shot. How come you can go through that wall and I can't? Oh, Jesus, fast. Oh, come on. There we go. Do I have to go up again?
Critics, yeah. I think it's also a part of the job of critics has been lost to YouTube.
Go in! Oh my god. I'm gonna use my money up, forget it.
Oh.
Wait, I died? Oh. No,
Oh, I think it healed you.
Oh. Brought me back to life.
Like, I think video essays have pretty much taken over serialized criticism.
I noticed that.
Because for every 10 written after a couple days of play, not quite understanding a game reviews, there's a video of a person with a calming accent talking in detail about a game.
What do you think there's room for both?
I do think there's room for both. I definitely think that the more serialized criticism should take notes. Because, I mean, there's room for both now, but television is also dying compared to services like Netflix. So it might just be a sort of natural transition.
How's this one? Oh, it locks on. That's actually good.
Oh.
Just sit here and fire. That's not really actually hitting that.
It seems pretty ammo efficient too.
Yeah.
Maybe not dealing that much damage. Well, no, the damage is fine. That thing was just tanky.
Can't go in there.
Power cores. Can you just fire? Oh, okay. I love the mist here.
I didn't even notice it. Oh, okay, I see.
We have to use a lot of stuff like that, like effects like lighting and mist, to make hard assets last as long as they can.
Yeah, so you get creative.
Yeah, I could make new assets, or I could take the same assets and light them differently.
Exactly. Better than just recoloring things, too.
Yeah. I guess it kind of is recoloring, but
more
in a broader sense.
Yeah, I mean, more aesthetic to it than just simply recoloring.
Does your new gun travel through walls?
I don't know.
It's kind of got that wave beam look.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yes, sirree, Bob! Just wanted to get rid of that default gun. Two more to destroy. And I can't climb that. Oh.
Game criticism's gonna get a weird feel in the next few years, too. We're kind of existing at a period of time when we can reasonably play most good games that exist. But, you know, we'll go down just a couple more generations and there will be major critics who didn't know the Atari ever existed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, do you think we could still we don't have to do the video essays? We could just still do the short reviews, but just having more thought about it instead of just being like, oh yeah, you know.
I think the short reviews went away because now people can. Nice.
Okay. Did
Nice.
he say something? I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I think the short reviews are starting to get flack because people can just look up gameplay now.
Okay, that was very interesting. Oh, we got Mecha Smiles. And we got Creeper. Those are the two we can pick right now. What do you guys want to do? We're getting through these pretty quick, to be honest.
Creeper looks pretty distinct. I think he'd be a good change of pace.
Alright. I'm going underground.
I'm also underground.
Do 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 do. Speaking of levels, so what is your favorite level environment and your worst level environment that you hate playing a game?
I think anything Bungie makes is my favorite.
Oh, really?
I love that most of their levels you can just, there's just such a wide area to move around. I don't like the fact that Destiny 2 is an MMO, but I do love when that game has really good level design. Then they make unique stuff with unique appeal.
I haven't when I was asking that, I meant like in what's the word, theme, I guess, of environment.
What is a good theme to work with?
Example, Last of Us 2 gamers dislike it because when Ellie was in a cutscene, cries every time she kills the same people who killed Joel, and yet kills 50 people she does not know without a second thought. Where critics give it 10 out of 10 because of media. I still haven't played Last of Us 2. I have it. It's just sitting there. I haven't had time.
I've never been a big fan of those cinematic games anyways.
Do you think you have to finish a game in order to like review it?
In order to review it, I think so. Which, the unfortunate thing is just some games are not friendly to that.
Yeah, I played a couple games where I was just like, yeah, I think I'm kind of done.
Like, there's also different intents for reviews.
I don't know, like, I do those 10 out of 10 reviews, those really short ones. I do even extremely short ones. I think each of my reviews are like a minute long, and then I move on to the next game. Because I just try to get as many reviews out as I can of the games that I played each month.
Yeah, because at that point you're like, you're telling people what the base essence of the game is.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's any good.
And I have a 10 out of 10 score, but I actually, oh my god, I was gonna die. I try to actually really consider a lot of things. I try to break a lot of things down when it comes to like writing, the technical aspect of it, the art, the music. Like, I consider all that stuff, the innovation, the engagement. Like, those are all like categories I consider when I do my 10 out of 10 score. And of course I do the 10 out of 10 just to, because people are familiar with it.
Dolphin therapy.
Look at this freaking thing, what the fuck?
Oh.
Mysterious creature of the valley who harnesses the power of darkness. Okay. Use a ranged attack to focus on incoming enemies, sneaks up on enemies and deals heavy melee damage. Quacker Squad. A flock of quackers will fly in, absorbing enemy damage until they blow up. What should we get? Or should we stick with the...
I like the duck, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, we'll get the duck. Can't upgrade it though. Quacker Force. Help yourself to some dolphin assisted therapy. It's on the house.
And yeah, D1,
yes.
That's the thing. I think there's a big appeal behind detailed reviews that really go in depth and really understand the game. And I think a lot of people can say, okay, let me just look up the first 30 minutes of this game and I'll have a good impression of it. Or play a demo. And I'll have a better impression of it than a reviewer. Because, reviewers have different tastes.
And at the end of the day, too, in my reviews, I tell people, like, look, I'm not telling you not to play the game. I just say I don't recommend it, like, from my experience. But I, still check it out, if you want to, if you're really interested. Don't let me stop you.
And, I think about, there's actually one really distinct advantage that, that video essayists have. It's that their personality and their interests are so well telegraphed. And that's not the case when you're just reading a review written by somebody. You don't know the person, so there's this sort of expectation that it's gonna be objective, and that's never gonna fucking happen. You can't tell if a part of a game is done poorly, or if like, oh, this person just hates RPGs. And
I mean, people should... That's the thing too, though. People should be able to state those biases as well. Like, hey, by the way, I'm not really a big fan of these kind of genres, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. Like, people need to be more open with that.
Yeah, and then people, oh, why did you have them review?
Why did you review it? Well, because I still wanted to try to give it a chance, and I just found out that I still don't like this genre.
Yeah, and then every publication has to have like 10 different reviewers review each game. It's why the video essay formula works so well, because like...
Well, I feel like with a video essay, it's usually for people that really enjoy are passionate about that game.
Yeah, but then you also get Donkey, who like does not like certain types of RPGs or types of games, and he'll still review them, and he'll still just say like, yep, still don't like them. But you can forgive it because you're like, yeah, I know what this person's likes, dislikes, and biases are at this point.
This guy gives me no chance to do ammo, but at least I can just sit here and do this.
Maybe it's the vomit.
Probably.
Or maybe it's all the little. Oh, the rocks.
Oh, the rocks, yeah. I thought it was only energy there. I was wrong. Oh, this does a good amount of damage. Maybe I can parry anything. Let's try when he attacks. Oh, never mind. He's dead. These little ads didn't do anything. Just sat on him.
At the same time, when we had our demos and whatnot, we got a couple. We had like 1 or 2 small publications write about us, and that was nice.
Oh, really?
There's definitely, if you're gonna make games, having a good relationship with the people who write about them is not a bad thing.
Guess we're going to Razor Mountain. Oh, I got all my ammo back. It's good to know.
You know, the existence of streamers has probably also done it a bit. Not just like what we're doing here, where we're just playing through it and talking about the experience, but like speedrunners too can talk in depth about what makes a game good or bad. You know, I guess there's a certain sense that we want to talk to experts about things, not just anyone.
Oh, of course, yeah. And you see it everywhere. Even when, like, I work at a Home Depot, and like not for Home Depot, but I'm work for a plant company that brings plants to Home Depot. But anyways, like they always think that you're gonna be like this like arborist or horticulturist, botanist. And it's like, dude, I don't get paid enough for that.
Yeah. Maybe someone in the store knows.
Yeah. Like, if I know something, I'll let them know, but at the end of the day, it's like, don't set your expectations that high, like...
It's like, I put things on shelves.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, this is a pretty sweet tile set for this level.
I'm gonna skip right past all of it.
And there's one more nail in the coffin. I just don't think we like industry very much anymore. always scoffing at company Twitter accounts and commercials that are like, oh, we care. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You're a business.
I don't have the right weapon. I don't have the right weapon. So what's your favorite game genre?
Oh gosh.
'Cause I know since your game is a Metroidvania, I didn't want to assume that it was just Metroidvanias.
Yeah, well, my game's like a mix.
Oh, true, that's very true.
I kind of just love.
Really and chat, feel free to put your game genre as well.
Yeah, I just love really kinesthetic action. Like, how to put it? I'm terrible. I'm slow. I can't do button mashing. I can't do fighting game combos, but I still like just quickly looking at situations and adapting, and hitting people with weapons or punching them.
Mm.
And in that respect, I'm actually not a big fan of games like Diablo or even Symphony of the Night, amusingly, because I'm not
wow.
too big on the stat management.
Yeah. I don't mind it sometimes, but a lot of times too. Yeah, I feel that.
Like I always thought that Hollow Knight
Oh.
was like, oh.
I didn't realize my health was so low.
I always thought that Hollow Knight was like, oh, I never need to play an Egavania game now. Because it's a Metroidvania, kind of like Symphony of the Night, but like there's some mechanics behind hitting people. It's not just the stats, and you only do have one attack button plus some directions to hold. But I know for other people the two are not so interchangeable a concept. They're super fundamentally different.
So, what games from the genre do you like the most then?
I think my all-time favorite is still Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix.
Okay.
Good mix of high level gameplay and reactive stuff like blocking, dodging, and reflecting.
Hmm. Yeah, I did. What did you think of
Very
Part 3?
Didn't like it quite as much. Still thought it was pretty good. I'd probably still play 2 over it if I had had to choose between the two, but I don't think it's bad.
It was very disappointing to me, but you're all right though. I was very hard on it when it first came out. I'm glad I didn't do a review or anything, because I probably would have sounded like a jackass.
You would have made people angry. I've made people angry. I think the plot's terrible, but but that was because it's like, you're not gonna introduce me to any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put all the plot in the last world of the game. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I care about one of these side games. Oh, that one has the really unsatisfying resolution. Okay.
And then they're like, all the Disney worlds is just like, oh, so you're just gonna recreate the movie? Got it.
Yeah, I think other than Toy Story.
Yeah, and I actually didn't like Toy Story. I actually didn't like that one. I mean, I thought
can see that too.
Yeah, like it was a good attempt, but I also didn't like that world.
It feels a little bit meandering. Plus, it's very UE4 shiny.
At least it wasn't Frozen though. Frozen was the worst world.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on that level. To be honest, I really. And of course, you know, you could say I was because I was playing the game for a good while, but like I literally, when I got to that stage, I was like, all right, I think I'm done. I'm tired.
It's definitely an exhausting level. I mean, they can't all be winners, but
I think Monsters, yeah, the Monsters Inc. level kind of got me exhausted too. Like, it wasn't as bad. I didn't mind it, but it was, like you said, like with Toy Story meandering. A lot of the levels felt pretty meandering. Like, it's just big. Like, the Hercules level, they did good, but it was just only for like a short amount of time. What was the other ones? The Kingdom of Corona was okay. But I mean, it was just a typical princess level. Big Hero 6 felt like they could have done a lot more with that, but it was just city, 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 big city. What are the other Disney levels? That's it, right?
I mean, there's Pirates.
Oh, Pirates was pretty good. I didn't mind that one.
Yeah, some people don't like the boat stuff, but at least it's there.
Yeah.
It's got the boat stuff, it's got the underwater, it's got the crab hunting thing, which is a fine diversion. Let's see, D1. I mean, yeah, the promise with a game like Fallout is that all the little decisions you make are going to have an impact at some point. Whether on an actual decision or just affecting how easy it is to make decisions later.
Wait, we lost our pet? Hi.
Oh.
Oh well, whatever. I need heals anyways. Sorry, you were saying.
Dude, This elevator scene is so quiet.
It's so long. I thought it'd be over by now. I think it is.
Amusingly, I have been playing a game by the name of GTFO recently.
Oh yeah, I have that one too.
And that game is you got one. Yeah. That game is so unbelievably awesome.
It's hard.
Yeah. I enjoy.
Which is fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I enjoy melee attacking in that game.
Yeah, that is true.
And how nebulous it is. How you actually swing in an arc and don't just put a hitbox in front of yourself for a couple frames.
Mm-hmm.
Kiting around enemies and trying to hit them in like the back of their head is a weak spot. And looking at the map and saying, okay, they're all gonna come from here. We're gonna put down our turrets. We're gonna close up this door and put mines on it. That whole strategic angle.
You ever play? Did you ever like those like tactical shooters, similar to like Left 4 Dead? What else? Left 4 Dead, Killing Floor, Warhammer Vermintide, all those games.
I played a little bit of them, and I feel like I found GTFO more appealing, probably because of the slower pace.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit more akin to Resident Evil 1 through 2 than Resident Evil 4.
Really? How so?
I guess in the
I was almost jumping
in the
around.
longer term resource management, like managing health kits in GTFO definitely reminds me of managing herbs.
The other bed. Oh, okay. I see what you mean now. Oh, I can't sleep.
Yeah, the question of whether you're gonna try and melee kill an enemy versus try and use ammo is like a long-term decision, because like, what if I need that ammo later?
Mm-hmm.
You're not sort of pumped with the stuff that you need at any given moment, which I don't think is a bad design. Resident Evil 4 is probably one of the best games ever made.
That was pretty. I gotta play that one again on stream.
This is a good boss. I don't know what it does yet, but
You gotta run away, bro.
oh, is this a kite and shoot?
Oh. Ow. I think this part is just to run away, and then you probably have to fight him at the end. Oh. Oh.
I suppose another thing I enjoy is any game with really cool platforming mechanics.
Hmm.
Like Mirror's Edge is one of the big ones. I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah,
there was a platformer that came out last year called Kunai that was super cool.
Kunai.
It had a left and right grapple button. It had a very Flash game kind of look to it.
Oh, look at that. Oh, okay.
And you just grapple off of the level tiles. Have you heard of Payday 2? Yeah, it's by the same developers as GTFO. I did not.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Payday 2 is really cool, minus the shooting levels where you just sort of shoot for an eternity.
Yeah.
But the stealth in Payday 2 is really cool.
Oh. Okay. Guess I just had to outrun him. That was easy. I remember playing this level on a harder difficulty, and I think he's faster on the harder difficulty, so I think it was just the difficulty I had it at. Well, that level's done. We're getting through these really, like, a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, these are not as long of levels as I thought they'd be. It's neat to see that sort of odd world aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
In, well, what clearly seems like a Mega Man inspired platformer.
What's up here? Wait, is this the way I'm supposed to go? I guess it is. I was going right. Those happy clouds are back.
Oh,
I like this level. It's a little bit. It's like the dystopian, but mixed with the grass and mushroom level as well. Like all three of them put together.
yeah, it's definitely that dreamlike aesthetic. Oh, with the wheelchair enemies too.
Mm-hmm.
Those little pillars sticking out of the abyss look particularly good.
Okay, I got my life. How do I keep? Where do I see to keep track of lives? So I want to know. So when did you know you wanted to be like a game designer and stuff?
Probably in high school.
High school.
I think it was when I was out of high school and in college when I was starting to question it a bit, but that was just the atmosphere and getting a different impression of what it could be. But back then I was making mods, I was teaching myself how to draw, do ultra specific things like cave story scripting. Trying to learn music. Yeah, that's a train I got off of. Music is impactful, but I don't do it.
I just play instruments just for fun. That's it. I try to create my own music and everything, but it just takes so much time. Just like everything else. You gotta pick one thing, or pick a couple things, not too many things.
I mean, there's a stigma too that if you do something as a hobby, you should be good at. But no, it's your hobby.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be marketable.
That's the thing too. It shouldn't be like, you know, if it's your hobby, it doesn't mean it like you said, it has to be marketable. It just means that you have your own spin to it that you like.
Yeah, exactly. It's something you do to relieve stress.
Yeah, exactly.
Or to really, it's really the thing that makes life worth living in some sense.
Alright, well let's talk about that then, Matt. This is Existential Gamers after all.
You know, that's true. That's true. I mean, I for the past few years, I've been thinking that maybe, like, the whole point is to make art.
The point of life?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that everything we do is just sort of is the things you have to take care of before you can do that.
That's an interesting perspective.
To make and consume art are the two things that make us happy, so it's probably what the end goal is of all the bullshit.
I guess it depends on what you consider bullshit.
That's true.
I mean, some people consider all that stuff that you probably consider bullshit as something artistic as well. Like, there's like an art to finances in a sense, like understanding the game and stuff like that. Because in a sense, it is a game, and it's a game that somebody created.
That is true.
But the thing is, not everybody wants to play that game.
That's true, but people don't. How to put it? No one's making robots to watch movies for you.
Yeah.
But people will go out of their way to make robots to do like menial tasks.
Once they add like a certain reward to that, to watching movies, somebody might actually do that.
That's true.
You never know. I was actually reading a book called Decoding the World by Poe Branson and Arvind Gupta, where they talk about like different things that science has been going through in the past 2 years during the COVID stuff. And oh shoot, fall my death. And there was one of the chapters where they talked about the purpose of life, and he mentioned that a lot of people live longer when they understand their sense of purpose in life. And I like this part where he says there's a difference between a sense of purpose and just a purpose in life. A fork has a purpose, but it does not have a sense of purpose. And I was just like, wow, yeah, like there's a lot of people who have a purpose, like they say like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, but it's like, why are you doing that though? Do you know why? Like, is it just to get by, or is there like a reason? Does it make you happy, like in a sense of like a goal, a long-term goal and stuff like that? What's up, Jod? How's it going, my dude? I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well as well. But yeah, I just thought that was very interesting when he said that. And they were talking about how like epidemiologists, how they were studying that, like, you know, how people who have a purpose in life tend to live longer. And I think I think a lot of people heard this study where they put a bunch of like people in hospices, I think, or a retirement home. I forgot what it was. They gave half of the seniors a plant to take care of, and the others they didn't. And the ones that had plants to take care of tend to live longer because they had something to do, a purpose. So even just having a purpose makes you live longer, but I think having a sense of purpose will probably make you even live longer because it just pushes you forward. I don't.
It definitely made me more concerned about my health to start like,
definitely.
this kind of game. Like once you start doing something that matters, you're like, oh man, I gotta keep in shape. I don't want to die having this unfinished.
Yes.
I don't want to like contract a disease I could have prevented.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how much went into making this boss.
Why?
It's just watching him rotate and watching him move around and the shading.
Oh. Shoot me! Thank you.
He delivered. This is the boss killer gun.
Yeah, the thing is I have to keep getting the ammo. There we go. Oh. There we go. Oh no, it didn't work. Absorb it! Ah! So glad I'm playing on easy. Or on normal. I think I'm playing normal. Oh, I didn't absorb that one. I'm a ding dong. Oh. Nah. Son of a gun. Oh, I don't have a shield, that's why. So,
Oh, you're out of it.
yeah, I gotta
Now you gotta dodge these moves.
Ew, dodging. Oh. Nah, oh yeah.
You know how... Gosh, when we went to go do the tutorial for Vernal Edge, we did it after the Kickstarter.
Uh-huh.
And because we just were gonna look at people's stream and videos and see, like, what do people suffer with? And at the top of the list was how to block. How to block and why it's good was on the top of the list of the things for the tutorial.
What was the first thing?
Blocking.
Oh.
Like, sure, we can teach you how to hit the buttons.
Triangle. I think Jod had something to say about the purpose of life. It's what lets you wake up tomorrow to do what you want. Yeah, there are days where when I don't really start thinking about my purpose in life, like it is harder for me to get out of bed. But when I remember like what I'm like waking up for, like okay, you know, it's time for me to become the person I want to be. Like, you know, I can get myself out of bed for sure.
I remember hearing that pandemic work productivity actually went up a lot once people started working from home and settled into it.
Oh, I know my life got more productive after the pandemic. That's when I lost 70 pounds and actually started to take care of myself.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shoot.
Apparently, I'm just gonna wager the theory that probably the fact that people are around, like, all the reasons that they actually do the work probably makes it more enticing to do.
What do you mean? Oh, for the being inside and stuff and being more productive?
Yeah. Like, oh yes, my family, like my lifestyle and all that. That's the reason I work, and it's right next to me. It's a good reminder.
That's very true.
That creaky chair that drives you insane.
This pig gets me every time I see it. I want it just to see what it does. We never got to use the quacker though. Oh wait. How do we switch pets? Because it still says we have the same pet. Oh right. There was a button for that. What was it? Okay, to shooting is what cancels inventory. It was this button. Oh, okay, we do have quackers still. All right, cool. I just never
give them a whirl before.
Yeah, before we unleash Megamind Hound. Whack. So he just worked. He just. Oh.
You ever hit a
Freaking
chicken
Legend
in
of
Zelda?
Zelda. Yeah, that's what it was. I also just immediately thought of that right now. That's a reference.
I guess the point of them is that they're ally health bars, and they'll just body block projectiles.
Mm-hmm.
So you just put them on the screen, and they'll eat hits for you.
I gotta get out of here. Okay. But we got 20 minutes left before we get going. I don't know if you had anything.
Right.
I don't know if you have anything you wanted to talk about before we do get going. Okay.
Let's think. Don't appeal to everybody. It's not worth it.
Definitely. I don't know if you ever heard of the pickle that most people are in, where they say that people fear life, but they also fear death. And what they mean is like, what they mean is that people are afraid of living their true selves because they're afraid of what people think of them or what the consequences will bring, because, you know, there's going to be a lot of adversity trying to do the things that you want. I mean, like, say, like, oh, I want to work out, I want to, you know, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, I want to have a good job, I want to have a good relationship. All that requires a lot of work, and it's scary. They're afraid to live that, you know, live in that adversity, so they're afraid of life. But they're also afraid of never accomplishing any of those things, so they're afraid of death. And I just find that very interesting, that people are stuck in that little pickle. In a sense, I mean, we are fickle, you know? Humans are fickle race of creatures. And it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
we make a lot of those mistakes all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Gotta
just,
sort of relearn every generation.
it's just, I guess in a sense, you know, our bodies are on are used to a certain way of living, and now, you know, the way we're living has changed so much that the default mode of the body and the brain is just not fit for this lifestyle anymore. And you have so many people living on autopilot, and I don't know if you ever read Robert Greene's Laws of Human Nature.
I don't think I have, no.
Okay, so in the book, he talks about these 18 laws that pretty much, like, humans pretty much default to. Damn it. And one of them is that, like, that law of fickleness, where they even say that, like, when it comes to, like, being in power, you know, no human really likes to have somebody be in charge of them, but at the same time, they don't really want to be in charge of themselves. They want somebody to kind of take care of everything.
Yeah, you want someone benevolent in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Benevolent and smart enough to
But
never
then
make the wrong decision.
you can have somebody benevolent in charge, though, and you can still be unhappy because they're not doing it the way you wanted them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh wait, that's not pairing. But like a couple of the other laws is like the law of irrationality, how we tend to make up lies in order to defend another law. There's a law of defensiveness, where if we get criticized, we tend to turn away from whatever is criticizing us. But in turn, they kind of work together, because the law of irrationality is like when I don't know if you ever heard of the split brain studies they used to do for schizophrenia patients.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you know how, like, the side of the brain that actually controls speech, like, we'll just start making up, like, stories in order to explain, like, the stimulus that they did without the context. Yeah, so, like, that's kind of like the law of rationality is... Oh, that was a... Okay.
Oh, there's no.
I thought that was a spot I had to... Oh, I had to just kill the enemy, so I did not pay attention to the goal.
I mean, I know I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a typical human thing that we do. Like all these laws, I was like, yep, I've done that before. So you find that way.
fucking destroy him.
Oh. 7 more to go.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of kinesthetic feedback for that.
Wait, can you give us a good example of a game that has some really good kinesthetic feedback?
I mean, there is Doom Eternal. Just
True.
zoom in, punch. I think kind of Mario, amusingly, is pretty high tier in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Mario is cartoony, so he can bounce, he can squash and stretch in subtle ways, bounce, make puffs of smoke appear behind him when he's running. Everything just works super well.
Where am I going? I think Breath of the Wild has some really good kinesthetic
You're right.
feedback.
All the effects in that game are top notch. It makes total sense that we're seeing like visual clones of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
All the MMOs want to look like it now because Nintendo found a really good art style for making mass environments.
Flamethrower.
Oh, hell yes.
Okay, I think that's all that was up here. It was like a little secret area. I think. Oh, no.
Oh, another weapon deposit?
Check out, see what's in it. Power of the Smack. Oh, I can't melee it. Weapon does not do damage. I think the flamethrower is very worth it.
It looks like the benefit's the penetration.
Hmm. But this one penetrates too.
That's true. Damn. You gotta make the flamethrower do damage.
How low does this thing go? Okay, cool. I was like, I need to get back.
Thankfully low enough.
Sorry, we're gonna leave the flamethrower behind.
Well, this has got really good feedback.
So you, do you like the game? For his first game?
So far, yes.
It's good. You hear that, Roland? Keep it up, buddy.
God, it's so cool.
Alright.
You know, Resident Evil 4 goes on that list again, too.
True. Yeah, very true.
And amusingly recently, because this came out recently, Knockout City.
Knockout. Oh! You played that one?
Dodgeball game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to play that one.
You know, the game that had that really bad trailer?
Yeah. I know a lot of people make fun of that.
So don't market your game with things that aren't in the game.
What was it that wasn't in the game?
Well, the trailer was like a bunch of fictional video game characters.
Oh, right.
And they were all like, oh, the gimmick was, oh, we'd rather play this cool game than be in our own game. And the problem was a lot of people liked some of those character designs. So they're like, actually, I kind of want to see this character in the game.
Alright, take care, Jod. You have a good night, okay? Yeah, I can imagine. I know there's been a couple games where they've done that, where they've had like some cool character design or something, and people were just like, why you tease us like this?
Mm-hmm. Just advertise your game with footage of the game.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what's so hard about understanding that. It's just like, you're in it, you're here to make games, like, advertise your game.
Yeah. Crosscode was really good for like an action RPG. Kingdom Hearts does it so well because it's a game that feels good to mash the X button in.
True.
This boss feels like he's out of block.
He's gonna jump. Okay, you don't get energy from that. I don't think you do. Did you notice that?
No, I noticed you weren't getting energy. I guess it's not there. I guess projectile is the requirement to get energy.
Diagram boy, die! Oh.
Oh, what was that?
I have no idea.
Hollow Knight 2. Hollow Knight wins a lot of points because hitting enemies knocks the enemy back and you back, which feels good, but also, like, is the sort of Castlevania mechanic twist where you have to keep re-approaching enemies.
You know, and then pogoing was really fun too.
Pogoing is fun because you have to hit the button.
Oh, I just realized I was on laser one.
Okay, now I can use some metal laser.
Oh. I think all your weapons get energy when you parry. Oh! I had more health.
Wow, that hurt a lot.
Yeah. We got him.
Oh, we got him.
Oh, and with that, I think we'll stop there. We got 8
This
minutes.
is a cool arena. I just like paid attention to it. I love the color palette.
I just like how he was just sitting there and he just like was just like, all right, let's go.
Oh yeah, off meta. Play Outer Wilds. That one too.
Outer Wilds.
That
Brow
game
Rocks.
that game is new.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Well,
we're
guys.
leaving before crack.
Cry rock, because we only got 7 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to the boss in 7 minutes.
No, I know, but that's a good render.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think this game is pretty short because I think there's only 4 levels left. There's this one, then it looks like the tower area is 3 levels, the bottom, middle, and the top. I don't know if that's it, but it looks like that's about it.
That's pretty.
Hey,
fair.
what's up, Josh? How's it going, man? Thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you Matt for joining me and talking about your game and stuff. I'm really excited to see more. Like, feel free to join us again. I'd
yeah.
love to have you on again.
It was a fun stream.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I just talking about all this stuff was really great, and I would love to. We were kind of sticking with more practical and I guess you could say what would be the word for that? More just like straightforward stuff, career-wise and things like that. And I would love to get a little bit more existential with you next time. I think that'd be great.
It would be fun. I don't get to get existential very often.
Yeah, I just really wanted to focus on your game thing, and especially because this game is also made by like somebody who's passionate about making games by themselves and stuff, and like just indie the indie scene in general. Like I really wanted you to kind of see another game that was made by a really passionate guy.
It's a small community that's infinitely large.
Yes. It's so big, but I don't know. Would you say it doesn't really have a huge voice in a sense?
It has a couple distinct voices, but there's no big reaching to everybody voice.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes, I guess there's Way Forward.
Yeah.
I think that's the only like group in the scene that's pretty widely known. But they don't have much of like a personality, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. I mean, even like with Roland here, who made this game, like the dude doesn't really get a lot of traffic on his YouTube channel. By the way, guys, check out his stuff. Go check out Roland Studios on YouTube. He needs some more people checking out his stuff and inspire him, push him forward, because that dude has talent. I would love to see more people pushing that guy to finish his games and stuff. Like you were saying before, Matt, like just being able to finish your projects and stuff like that. That's very important. And I want him to know that his stuff is wanted. Start a Kickstarter or something, or I want to see some more of this stuff. I love this art style. I like the clay, like I said, the clay punk art style. I really love these kind of games. I want to see more of it.
It's so good. It's such a rarity too.
Mm.
Felt turtle.
Filter, yeah. And that's why I like Little Big Planet.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's another good one.
Yeah. Mod Nation Racers was also one of my favorites too. That was a good racing game.
Oh, there's too many unexplored art styles.
Yes. Yes. But anything you want to say before we go? Before I sign us all off?
Be happy.
Be peaceful, be joyful. Remember that you're probably miserable because you've never felt true misery.
That's true. Be happy. Look up Vernal Edge. Look up Vernal Edge on YouTube.
Yes,
and play
check out
the
his
demo.
game. Check out his game, guys, please. Vernal Edge is with a V, right?
Yeah.
Vernal Edge. All right, y'all.
Vernal Edge.
Take care. Oh, go ahead. You had something
If
to
you want to
say.
play if you want to play a small anger woman and beat up monsters.
Yes. Beat them monsters up. What's up, D1? You said no. We gotta go, man. We gotta go. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow. Matt will be back some other time when he has a.
I'll be working.
Yeah, he has to finish that game, man. He has to get on that game, finish it, so we can all play it. I'm excited. All right, y'all.
All right.
Take care. Have a good one. Good
Peace.
night.